Good morning, everybody. Reed here. Back outside my chicken coop doing the morning chores of feeding and watering the birds. And I'm thinking this morning about my full life. Or as my friend Smart Keo reframed it for me, my rich life. And this notion of, I got several different things going on. A few kids, work life, and I'm recording music and playing music and doing some paintings and getting some writing in. I've got a reasonable / small farm spot, and I also make some time to see some friends or go out into nature and walk or paddle. And when I became a parent, I realized how much of my time I wasn't really using. It was just kind of going out the window. And how in life, I'll frequently hear that people are busy. Oh, I couldn't do this, I'm so busy right now. They're picking up some eggs here. And there's the egg. And how now when I hear busy from people, I'm kind of like, that's in my opinion, not the purpose of life. And sometimes it's nice just to hear, no, I don't have time for that, rather than I'm busy, or life is too full, I can't make space for that. Not saying I don't understand, because I totally get it. I don't go to everything I'm invited to. And sometimes I feel sad about that. But rather than tell you what bothers me when people say that, I want to offer some different notions around living a full, rich life. Things such as when I'm connecting with others, I might actually go through a moment of not necessarily looking forward to it, from the context of just like, there is so much going on that sometimes I need to like rest, or have what my wife is cluing me into as this ma moment. I guess that's in Japanese culture. And just a sense of like, you don't need to pack your life full of just non-stop action, action, action. And the notion of like, what are things that are actually restorative practices in life that at first they feel like they're an overextension. And so, going for a walk with a friend in the forest, that's restorative for me. Even though at first I might be a little hesitant to do that. Similarly, being with people at my farm is a restorative practice in actuality, even if we're getting some things done. And that notion of a lot of times things that we think of it might be work or we just don't have capacity for are actually things that bring us joy, function as a restorative thing, feel better after them. The same thing is true in my life for getting together for my music nights. I actually find them deeply restorative. And so other aspects for seemingly accomplishing a lot is this notion that I can fit a lot into short amounts of time. It's one of the tricks of becoming a parent, I found, is rather than, say, taking a really long time for a project, I can actually get it done in a lot shorter amount of time than I was thinking. Or the notion of like, it's okay to utilize some of the various tools that we have available to us, rather than trying to do everything by hand or everything on our own. And it's amazing what gets accomplished when I both condense the time that it takes. Sometimes it requires removing my outer critic from the situation, which I think is also really helpful. Because like, we can be too critical of ourselves, of situations, of experience, and the ability to allow things to be as they are, to appreciate their imperfections, to allow time-space to move at its own clip while moving ourselves at varying places. I'm reminded of a story I heard wherein, and I don't recall whether it's an indigenous culture or just a local culture, people were doing some kind of an activity. Maybe it was weaving or a handicraft kind of a skill. And they were very quick at it when there was no tourists around. When it was just their own people there. But whenever people would show up, it would slow right down. The pace would just grind to a crawl. And, you know, there's this concept of eco-psychosocial systems. And with that, I feel like we hold these amorphic fields in resonance together. And when someone comes in from outside that field, it often changes the nature of it so that those tasks or spaces and places, you shift what's actually capable in them. And so things that used to only take a moment take a long time. I feel like becoming a parent is one of those examples of, like, laundry used to just take a moment. Now there's Laundry Mountain, and it's not always the easiest, most graceful process. At the same time, this ability to condense time for my creative activities has demonstrated, like, I can actually accomplish so much more. And that when I open myself up to that and I'm able to acknowledge where the restorative qualities actually exist and where my resistance is, I can lean into those restorative qualities and get past my mental space of resistance to it. I hope that helps you in your life to accomplish more of what you want to be accomplishing, to hopefully move from a busy life into a rich life, and to make your most of your time on this planet. It doesn't last forever. Look at all these project materials here, huh? Things are going to get done at some point, and I'm pseudo-relaxed with that process. I hope you're relaxed through your process, because stress is the biggest contributor to death. So be relaxed in all that you do. Make sure to take some nice deep breaths today while you're out there. Breathe deep into your belly, deep into your feet, deep with the earth. Remember all the interconnections of life that contribute to your breath, and give thanks for those creatures being there. You can't do it without them. With that, thanks for watching these videos. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for any comments you have on this. I'd love to hear how you move between having a rich life and a full life, or a busy life and a relaxed life. Have too much fun.